got this blower in yesterday. I just got the engine running good, the carb was dirty. But now when you go to press the drive lever, it won't go anywhere. It's a simple fix. It's a common problem on the Noma Murray snow machines that I get in here. So I'm going to show you how to repair that. Anybody can repair this. So a common problem on these machines is that there's a bolt that goes here that goes through the drive shaft, and oftentimes it'll break or come off. In this case, here's the old bolt. It's all crooked. I believe it must have snapped or the nut came off. So what happens after that is that the sprocket will actually slip on the drive shaft. So I'm turning the wheel and you can see the shaft is moving from the sprocket. So now what you want to do is realign the hole on the sprocket to the hole on the drive shaft just by holding the sprocket and turning the wheels until you've got it lined up. So you can see I've got the hole perfectly lined up. That's what you want. And then we're going to insert a 1/4" bolt in there. So what I've got for this is a grade 8 1/4" diameter bolt by 2 inches long. I'm going to just insert it in there. You can also get away with using a grade 5 bolt. And then turn the axle to get the threads showing. Now I'm going to use a lock nut at the end here. And that is 7/16 in diameter. You want to hold the back of the bolt with a wrench, and then with your deep socket just tighten up the lock nut. So that's all there is to that. It's tightened up. Now it's going to work. Now while I'm in here, I'm going to put a bit of grease here on the friction wheel disc shaft. This basically slides back and forth when you switch gears. And at this point here it's pretty stiff, and it's because the shaft is really dry. So once I grease that, this is going to be real easy to move up and down. So I've got some low temp greaser on my finger. You can also use some lithium grease, which is good in all weather conditions. Now when you put it on, just put a small film, then turn the wheels to get the other sides. You don't want to put too much grease because you don't want the grease going on your friction wheel disc over here, or wheel, because it'll make your friction disc here slip off of that wheel if it's got grease on it. So I'm just going to get all sides coated and just move the wheels if you want to access all sides. And once you've done that, just move the gear shift up and down. So you'll see here when I move the gear shift, it's going to slide back and forth. And what that's going to do is get the grease everywhere. And now I'm just going to spread the grease again. If you feel it's really dirty, just wipe it with a cloth. Now while you've got this opened up, you can take the opportunity to put grease on the chains. Again, don't put too much grease because you don't want it to fly off and go on the friction wheel disc assembly. So I'll move the wheels like that. And with the grease on your fingers like that and moving the wheels, it's going to spread everywhere on the chains. You would also want to do that on this side as well. And with an oil can here, you want to oil the bushings on the wheels here, on the shaft. I'm just going to oil the drive shaft bushings. What's in my oil can is transmission oil mixed with motor oil, and that's going to soak in there. Don't worry if the oil drips, that's okay. And always do it from the outside of the machine, not the inside, because you don't want the oil to get on the friction wheel disc here. So to put the cover back on, you basically just insert these grooves here on both sides of the cover into the bolts here. You have to insert this groove here on the exterior of the body of the blower. Now these bolts here have to be partially loosened. And just insert it in there. Then you want to push these little notches in the grooves here on the snowblower body. Like that. So once you've got the cover on like this, there's a bolt that goes here and one that goes over here. So now what you need for this to tighten up the cover is a ratchet with a 3/8 socket. And you're just going to tighten up all 4 bolts. Okay, now we're done. So you can see how a simple bolt like that can cause the whole drivetrain to stop working. And that's all there is to it.